In a world where we increasingly look to governments for solutions, it's time to face a hard truth. It's not the government's job to rescue us. Hello, everyone, and welcome to SuttonsDaze. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and we are all about pantry preparedness. Part of the pantry preparedness is so that we can rescue ourselves, so that we can help ourselves, our family, our community, okay? Our pantries, if everybody did this, there'd be no issue. Our pantries are a form of preparedness that allow us to not be victims during different circumstances. I'm seeing a lot of a reoccurring question and theme from people who just don't have a clue what they're talking about. And quite honestly, for anybody fear-mongering during this situation, I hope that you get a rash in a nether region that lasts you the rest of your life and is red and itchy and painful. I do. Okay? Because you deserve it. Because anybody fear-mongering during the disaster of Helene deserves nothing less than a rash in the nether regions that is painful and lasts you the rest of your life. How do you really feel, Lisa? I don't know. Let's talk about it. When you look at disasters, it is likely that Helene is going to be categorized as the worst natural disaster in 20, 30, 40 years, okay? Right now, there's the belief that it actually is worse than Katrina. This is something that nobody saw coming. This is something that nobody understood the depths of. It totally surprised everyone exactly how bad it got and how fast it got there. You guys know, if you watch homesteading channels or prepper channels, right, you've seen Pinball, you've seen Patera, you've seen Justin Rhodes. There are various channels out there who are saying this is what we went through, and they're showing what they went through. I watched Justin Rhodes film what happened during the storm. They were filming while it was happening. And my God, what do you do? What do you do when your entire world washes away, right? It is so difficult to consider, so difficult to think of. What do you do when your whole world doesn't wash away? You put your boots on and you go help the people who it impacted. So while there's a whole bunch of people out there going, the government's supposed to take care of us, okay? They're talking out of their back ends. And quite honestly, they should probably stick to eating copious amounts of beans because it makes more sense. Oh, gosh. My snark's going to come out and I'm kind of not even sorry about it, you know? So I've seen lies about the $750 with FEMA. I've seen lies about FEMA having $1 billion budget. I have seen lies about the fact that FEMA is stopping people from helping. I have seen lies about how the government is stopping people from helping. I have seen so many lies, and I am so disappointed at how many people believe the lies when they have no knowledge. They have absolutely no knowledge about what is happening and what is going on, when they actually can't even comprehend how devastating what has happened is, and they're going to lie about what's going on. Wow. Aren't you special? Super special. I'm probably going to make a whole lot of enemies with this video, and honestly, I don't care. I don't care anymore. We need to prop each other up, and you need to understand that the government is not here to take care of us. It was never their job. It still is not. We need to rescue ourselves. I think if you look back, I'll link it at the end of this video. I mentioned this a few months back. It's not the government's job to rescue us. It never was. It never will be. Okay? During large-scale emergencies, I had to make a list. During large-scale emergencies, you have to understand, anybody would understand, you would think, but this is not the case, that there are limitations of governmental response, okay? There's bureaucracy, thank you. There's resource constraints, overwhelming demand during large-scale emergencies, okay? Well, they're giving all this money over to Ukraine, and so they're not giving it to FEMA to rescue people. What? And did you get your degree out of a box of Pop-Tarts? Please tell me, okay? Two completely different buckets. Don't even touch each other. So one has nothing to do with the other. But you go ahead, consume the Pop-Tarts. Trust me. This is where we need to look at it. And we need to go, I need to be responsible. I need to be responsible for me. I need to be responsible for my family. I need to be responsible for my community. That is the way it always has been. That is the way it should always be. I never want to rely on the government for my life. That is why we encourage you to have skills. That is why we encourage you to put up a pantry. Yes, I know. A pantry would do you no good if your entire house was washed away. The likelihood of that happening is 1 in a million, okay? And the bad news is there were some people that hit that million. For most everybody else, it's not going to happen. And so put the pantry up. That way you've got it in case of an emergency. Put the money back because that way you have it in case of an emergency. You need to develop the emergency kits. You need to develop the emergency binders. You need to have a plan. I've been talking about plans for a long time, you guys. You need to have a plan that encompasses you, your family, your community, on how you're going to respond, how you are going to take care of your people when something absolutely devastating happens, so that you can be busy helping instead of one of those idiots on the sidelines. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, shh, I just shut up. Anyway, expecting somebody else to come save us, especially the government, right, creates a very dangerous complacency. That's where we're at. We have a whole bunch of people out there complacent with their own preparedness, complacent with their own self-sufficiency because the government's going to be there to rescue them. No, they're not. They're not. Communities in crisis. Okay. Historically, communities in crisis come together in times of need. We are seeing this. If you're not seeing this, you're paying attention to the wrong people, okay? We are seeing this through the information that Pinball shared. We're seeing this through the videos that Patera shares. We are seeing this through multiple social media aspects where they're showing the mules that are taking the food up to people, where they're showing the individual groups that are working collectively to get to people that are stranded, how they're getting medication to people, how they're taking in planes or helicopters, how they're working with the governmental entities so that nobody else dies because nobody knows where the airspace is, okay? Or who's in the airspace, so that they can get this stuff taken care of. They're working together. It's that loudmouth who's giving you the bad information about the $750 grants, or the loudmouth that's giving you bad information about where stuff is, where they're telling people, no, you can't go help anybody. No. Those are the people you don't want to listen to because they are trying to think that they're somebody and they're not. They're not actually in there helping. It's not hard to realize that if they are saying, can you hold on a minute before you go running in there with your helicopter, it's because that airspace might already be taken. Because there might not be a landing zone that's safe. Because they need to set up and make sure that it's a safe route for people to go. Yeah, okay. There's a whole bunch of reasons, and it's our job to make sure that we can respond faster and more effectively, okay, than the government at large. Our centralized efforts are the ones that are going to save people, and they're proving that right now in Tennessee, in North Carolina, in Georgia, and in Florida. They are proving that right now. Those centralized units are the ones making the difference, and that's the way it should be. Community aid doesn't always come just directly from your immediate community. It's from the community at large. It's from human beings. How many people like me donated funds in order to help get supplies to these people? How many people helped send supplies to these people? How many of you actually did something other than spread false information? If you don't have the money, that's a whole nother thing altogether. And my God, take care of your home first, okay? Because otherwise it's just another disaster that we have to deal with. But if you have the means, then that is how you help, not by spreading incorrect lies and bad information. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you don't have people, you need people to find your people. You need to foster relationships in your communities. You need to build up relationships within your communities, okay? Be proactive. Organize for collective preparedness. You can absolutely do this. There's no reason why you can't, actually, other than, I don't wanna. Oh, I'm busy. Okay. When we rely on the government, it's not good, okay? The government's primary role is in creating an infrastructure that supports preparedness. Education, policy, that kind of thing, okay? Not in saving every single individual during a disaster. The government can't do that. Physically, they don't have that ability. The boots on the ground are us. We are the boots on the ground in our community during a disaster. We are the boots on the ground during a disaster in a neighboring community. We are the ones jumping in there. The government supplies us with the infrastructure and the resources sometimes to be able to help, okay? That is their primary role. They are going to be instrumental in the fact that over the next few weeks, if somebody doesn't get into that Asheville area and figure out what they're going to do about human waste, they've got bigger issues to worry about, like disease, because most people don't understand that you can't just squat down someplace and take care of business, okay? And with absolutely zero infrastructure, there is no sewage treatment, there is no water treatment. With zero infrastructure, that is ripe for disease. It is ripe for a larger catastrophe than anybody has ever seen. That is how our government can get in there and help. That is what they should be focusing on. Individual get in there and save people. That is what we rely on our local communities for. Otherwise, our fire departments would be immediately linked up to what? Statewide and then nationwide? Our police departments, statewide, nationwide? No, they're local. We need to take care of our people locally. We need to take care of our people neighborly. We need to take care of people if we have the ability to send, not the United States government. Relying on an entity that is that large, okay, will cause delayed responses. Oh, I'm not going to go help because our government will do it. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how many more people would not be with us today if that's what everybody did? Oh no, we're going to wait for the government to come do it, right? Delayed response, resource shortages, overwhelming the systems. We don't have the systems. They are not in place for disasters this big. That is why we have to create them as boots on the ground to go and make it happen. That is why we have to be like Pinball. That is why we have to be like Patera. That is why we have to be in there doing our due. We need to decentralize the preparedness aspect, okay? We need to make every household and community a hub of resilience. That is where the responsibility lies. No one is coming to save you. You have to be responsible for saving yourself. You need to be responsible for creating a home of resilience, a life of resilience. You need to be responsible for doing that. The government is not going to make you resilient. And if suddenly they decided, okay, fine, we're going to take care of you, but it's going to be on our timeline because it's as quickly as we can react. So, yeah, kick back, wait for us. We'll get there. No, every single household needs to be a hub of resilience. That is up to you, and that is up to me. One of the things I think we have to definitely get past is the victim mentality. Oh, I can't afford to prep. I don't have any money. What? Okay, there are food banks out there so that you could get food. There are tons of resources out there where you can learn how to become better prepared. It doesn't require a whole bunch of equipment. Sure, sometimes it's nice. Doesn't need it. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Some of the most resilient people I know don't have 2 pennies to rub together. So, yeah, stop being a victim, because the world doesn't have time for victims, and you will be left behind. The key here is to be proactive and not reactive. Being proactive means becoming prepared to the best of your ability for the things most likely to happen in your area. Helene is not one of those things. Nobody could prepare for that, okay? Literally, nobody. But you can prepare for the things that are most likely to happen in your area. Be proactive with your preparedness. Quite honestly, anymore, being prepared is your civic duty. I'm tired. I don't know about you guys. I'm so tired. Oh, are you one of those preppers? No, sweetheart. I am one of those people who believes that life happens. I am one of those people who will not be caught with my pants down and a Starbucks cup in my hand. Okay? I am one of those people that believes the world doesn't owe me squat. And that if I want it, I have to get up and I have to make it happen. So, to run across people that go, oh, are you one of those preppers? I don't have the patience, and honestly, I'm running out of nice. I'm definitely running out of nice. So, don't let them make you feel like less for being prepared. It is quite literally your civic duty to make sure that you are prepared. Now, for you grandparents out there that are going, I have to prepare for all my grandkids and my kids. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need to prepare for you first, okay? And then you need to remind your children of their civic duty. Well, they don't have time because there's soccer and there's this and there's Starbucks and what? Seriously? Okay. So after you're done with your civic duty, after they're done with their civic duty, then they can go to Disneyland, okay? But until then, don't be ridiculous. This is as important as insurance. This is as important as car insurance, life insurance, home insurance, okay? This is a form of insurance. So it quite literally is everyone's civic duty. Especially when we look at the increasing frequency of natural disasters that are quite literally out of our control. Then it really is your civic duty. I want you to wrap yourself around those words for a hot minute, because civic duty. I am flat out at this point begging you. 1, stop sharing the false information. Just stop. Stop giving energy to the liars, to the thieves, to the people that are scamming other people. Stop giving them that energy and that attention, because that's all they want, okay? Give the attention to people who are actually helping, who are actually trying to help people and help people get prepared. Those are the people that deserve the attention and the energy. Not these people that are going, oh, well, you know, we're sending all this money to the Ukraine and now we don't have any money for FEMA. Okay, I'd hate to see their checking account because they obviously don't understand budgets at all. At all. We have to remember, I think this is one of the, as I wrote it down, I'm like, we have to remember that the government is a tool, not the way that you're thinking, okay? The government is a tool, kind of like a hammer, kind of like a screwdriver, kind of like a canning ring, okay? The government is a tool. It is not your savior. They will never be your savior. Our security, our preparedness, lie within ourselves, our families, and our communities. First, foremost, always and forever. I have been so proud of so many of you that leave the most amazing comments about how you are becoming better prepared, how this was your wake-up call, how terrifying this is watching it all unfold, because it is. I don't know about you guys. This has kind of taken a little bit of a mental toll on me because I'm not close enough to do much more than throw money at it, okay? And I don't have a whole lot of money to throw at it, but I'm still throwing money at it. So there are ways that we can help, and the ways that we can help is to become better prepared. to better prepare our homes, to better prepare our families, and to better prepare our communities. We can do this because the government is not going to save you. It is not their job. It is your job, though. If you're new here and I haven't totally ticked you off, I have spent the last 100+ days trying to teach people how to become better prepared because we just don't know what's coming our way. We just don't know. If you want to check out that list, check out these videos right here. And until next time, everybody, please be safe. Stack it to the rafters.